comes a point in everybody life, you know, you get to a point where, well, not say everybody life, in most people life, a lot of people, they get to a point where you get tired of the lies and the bullshit. You want to know the truth, what's really going on, whether it's in a situation in your personal life or a situation dealing with history or spirituality, but you just want to know the truth. And reason for me starting off like this is lately, matter of fact, if you've been following my Instagram, Facebook, anything of that nature, I've been doing a lot of research and coming to the conclusion that Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I say quote unquote Jesus because the letter J wasn't even around when Jesus was walking, so say walking earth or whatever. And I know that the Christ-like consciousness is real, you know what I'm saying? Like having that compassion, you know what I'm saying? That loving, empathy, you know what I'm saying? Like that's Christ-like consciousness, you know what I'm saying? But I just find it very, confusing. And say, for instance, I do a lot of meditation and strengthen my intuition, and my heart is very strong and I'm getting to a point where my heart telling me that the story of Jesus or Yeshua, his story was used for some manipulation. And I look at things first, what stands out first and foremost is that Yeshua's story is a recycled story of sun worship and of Horus and of stories that came way before from the land of Kemet, like, years and years before his story, you know what I'm saying? Like, it mimics Horus' story, like, almost, like, spot on except for changing names and stuff like that. And my thing is, like, in the history of anything, when has the fifth installment of a story or a recycled story been the main story to follow? You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, cause Kobe trying to be like Michael Jordan, do we follow Kobe more than Jordan, or do we go with the predecessor? In which that's kind of somewhat of a lousy example. So, but I'm just saying, like, a story that mimics, you know what I'm saying, like the same exact story before, I'm going to go with the old story. It was the first one, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I preach and praise the fifth installment of a previous story, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless I was trying to, have some propaganda or trickery behind my information, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I meditate and stuff like that, and like a lot of information with Jesus don't be sitting right to me, you know what I'm saying? For one, they use the picture of Caesar Borgia, you know what I'm saying, to paint the picture of Jesus. So, that's already, like, even just coming from that general area where Jesus come from, you know what I'm saying? And there's no such thing as race. I'm just saying color skin wise, like it would be like at least bronze or something, you know what I'm saying, of that nature. But you had the picture of Caesar Borgia that was implemented, you know what I'm saying, by Rome and, by the powers at hand, And it just seemed kind of fishy, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, why would somebody just forcefully just make sure Yeshua, when they got a story from the land of Kemet with people who built pyramids and were one with their spirituality, you know what I'm saying? People of this stature had this story first. But we're going to follow the story from the people who in church and giving money and, and all these material things that don't have nothing to do with spirituality, like Vatican with all these pagan symbols that they have. Now, I ain't going to say hidden under Vatican, because Vatican got so much power now, they don't even give a fuck. They got shit in plain sight, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got pagan statues and shit like, in the little chambers underneath Vatican and shit like that. So they got so much power. And matter of fact, that's anything in nature. Look at a bully that got so much power. You remember in school, the bully that got so much power that he don't even give a fuck about the principal or nobody feelings, because, he could get away with whatever. Like, and that's the thing too, knowing sociology and psychology, knowing how the mind works and how how a human being and how the passing down of knowledge works, you also be able to tell what's a lie, what's real, who's lying, what's the nature of a liar. Like, does a liar use fear and fucking propaganda to get you to believe bullshit? Or does somebody use love and compassion, you know what I'm saying? And then if somebody trying to be smart, they use a little bit of both, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's another thing. Some people act like, oh man, it can't be like that. Man, some shit done got smart. People kind of disguising hate shit and all that with love, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit done got sociopathic. It's not the same game no more. You can't just stand out and whip nobody with no whip and hang them on, in front of everybody no more. So you got to switch your game plan up, you know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I never... And I'm getting out of that mind frame of being apologetic, because ain't no such thing as having apologized. This is all our history, you know what I'm saying? No matter what color you are, if you're fucking greener than my wall, you know what I'm saying? Clear as this crystal or black as my shirt, you know what I'm saying? It's all our history. We all from Earth, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm getting tired of like hiding behind that persona, acting like that shit real, like when people trying to preach that shit on me. And which, don't get me wrong, as a person that meditates and everything's a free will universe, you have the right to believe in, say whatever you want. Matter of fact, I got a video coming up on that. Matter of fact, it'll be before this one actually, because I got it already. But like, it's a free will universe, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Don't trip on me because I'm keeping it real about the truth and noticing, lies and what's real, you know what I'm saying? Another thing was funny, how you could tell somebody who's lying or who don't have real facts. How is it that I sit and read all these books, I learn all this shit, and I cross-reference it? Like, the information I get comes from people who look from all strokes of life, all colors, you know what I'm saying? I get information I cross-reference across races, books, videos, everything. I cross-reference all this stuff. But somebody come around and just be like, oh no, you're wrong. Just because they're skeptical. Like, oh, you're wrong because I don't read all the stuff you read, and I don't do all that, but I just think you're wrong. Because I was taught by so and so like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, it's not crazy, never mind, because knowing I'm an old soul, so seeing and knowing what all been going on in this universe, nothing new under the sun. It's not that crazy but it's just, it's like, so damn, I gotta, even with all my knowledge I done researched already, now I gotta sit here and regurgitate it to you. No. How about you sit here and regurgitate your facts or your stuff that you studied to prove me wrong? That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You don't sit back and be skeptical and be like, I think you're wrong just because you're wrong. I don't read. I ain't gonna look up nothing. I don't, it don't work like that. That's why I don't get into, petty, little back and forth conversations about it. That's why I stay to myself, because some people still in denial and be lying about it. And it's hard for me to be around that energy. And if I do, I just don't even speak on it. I just let them talk and just whatever, because I'm not going to acknowledge, like, that's not, knowing what I know and all this knowledge I get. And that's the thing. I'm listening to people expressing their opinion, like, well, yeah, I just feel and I just think. And then, too, I'm listening to your feelings and all that. And you may not even meditate and be close to your intuition. So not only you're naysaying and being skeptical, but you're not one and getting intuitive knowledge either. So you just naysaying out of plain air and not even backing it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really, get in most conversations about people on some subjects. But it's just really, and it becomes insulting to your intelligence too, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I got unconditional love for everything, but it kind of bites at you a little bit when people just have the audacity to think you're that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, it's just, it's earth, it's life. But, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just do y'all studies and you know what I'm saying? Feel free to to cross-reference. Do y'all research, you know what I'm saying? Do your open-minded research. You know what I'm saying? Don't do propaganda research. Don't be researching to prove shit wrong or right. Because that's the thing, too. Like, I'm not researching to prove this shit right. I'm just fucking researching. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, excuse my language. I know I'm not curse. I'm just researching. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to find out the truth. But some people going to sit around and be trying to, negatively research. Trying to, hey, let me find a way to prove this wrong. Matter of fact, let me find a way to make sure this, no, just study, just research shit, cross-reference, and let your heart speak to you, and not what you were taught to learn. You know what I'm saying? Speak to you. Don't let your brain is entrapment. This body we got, this brain will help kind of keep us in check. You know what I'm saying? Unless you start to learn to check it with your heart. You know what I'm saying? But peace, love, you know what I'm saying? Unconditional love, you know what I'm saying? Like the recycled story of Jesus tells you to have, you know what I'm saying? The fifth installment of, of that story starring Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Talked about unconditional love, so regardless, just unconditional love. No lies, search for truth. Peace.